is. This is a spell, this is. It's the Wicked Witch. What do we do? Help! Help! It's no use screaming at a time like this. Nobody will hear you. Help! 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 It's snowing. No, it isn't. Yes, it is. Oh, maybe that'll help. Oh, but couldn't help. Does help. Dorothy, you're waking up.
Oh.
Unusual weather we're having, ain't it?
Look, he's rusted again. Oh, give me the oil can, quick.
Here.
Oh,
Oh,
quick. Oh,
he is rusty.
here.
Here.
Oh, quick. Oh, oh.
Percy! Percy!
Somebody always helps that girl. But shoes are no shoes. I'm still brave enough to conquer her. And woe to those who try to stop her. Come on, let's get out of here. Look, Emerald City is closer and prettier than ever. Out of the woods, you're out of the dark, you're out of the night. Step into the sun, step into the light. Keep straight ahead for the most glorious place on the face of the earth or the sky. Hold on to your breath, hold on to your heart, hold on to your hope.
So in this scene, we see the four main characters on their way to ask the Great Wizard of Oz for help. The characters themselves are actually symbolic of traditional American values. They are all plagued by self-doubt though, which is why their symbolism isn't very obvious. So first we have Dorothy. She is the main character and she is symbolic of self-reliance. So throughout the movie, she's been very optimistic and dedicated to her goal of getting home in the face of all the challenges, especially the Wicked Witch. She, in this scene, she gets right up from being asleep from a spell and tells her friends, let's get going. So next we have the Scarecrow. He is symbolic of intelligence, and he is going to ask the wizard for a brain, but he is already very intelligent. In this scene you can see that he tells the Tin Man that no one can hear you, which is a little bit of an example of the intelligence he already possesses. The Tin Man represents compassion. So he's going to ask the wizard for a heart, although he's already very compassionate. So he cares very deeply for his friends, as you can see in this scene, because he's the first to scream for help when the Lion and Dorothy fall asleep. Last we have the Lion, and he represents bravery. So he's obviously the cowardly lion, but he has stood up for his friends throughout their whole journey, and has been very courageous in the face of obstacles that they have come across.
A major form of symbolism in The Wizard of Oz is the yellow brick road. It represents life and how the road is filled with thrills and dangers, but holds promise of something wonderful at the journey's end. Sometimes the road leads to success, but sometimes it's just plain deceptive and disappointing. The road represents how dazzling but hollow a big city life can be. For Dorothy, the road is a journey where she discovers adventure and exciting possibilities out of her before sheltered life. A new meaning of growing up. She discovers that wizards are ordinary people and sparkling dreams aren't what they're cracked up to be. We all seem to have a wicked witch in our lives, and it seems like their purpose is to make our lives as miserable and as hard as possible. Throughout the movie, the witch torments and threatens Dorothy and her friends, though in the end, all it took was some water and bravery from Dorothy to overcome the witch. The Emerald City is a representation of Washington, D.C. in the 1900s and also unsecured greenback paper money. The illusion is splendor and value is also compared to the value of paper money. And the value of the paper money in the 1900s only had value because of an illusion. When it originally was backed with gold, it is now just backed with paper.